Hey everybody, ASIC Eric here, Second Chance Garage, and we are back on the Camaro today. I'm gonna tear into the bottom of that car again, have some more fun cleaning. And one of the things I did last time I was out here, I moved the suspension stuff that I had outside here into the garage. So I got my subframe and the rear end up there. Because I had them sitting out here in the driveway, and it just, it looked really trashy having that stuff sitting out there. And a neighbor up the street's trying to sell their house, and I didn't want this stuff sitting out there looking like just complete garbage. So I brought this stuff in the garage, but man, it sucks having this stuff in the garage. Boo. I didn't even think about it till after I put all this stuff in here. I can slide the Camaro over into its little spot here, but I can't get it this way anymore because of all of this stuff. So I can't get my car out of the garage anymore. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to move this stuff back out of here before too long because I've got to sandblast the bottom of this thing. I do have the suspension components for this. I showed that in the last video on the Ride Tech coilovers. So I might, before I do all that sandblasting and stuff, I might tear apart this subframe, get this stuff off of there. Then I can just take this thing and lean it up against the wall or something. The rear end, I am getting a new rear end, so maybe possibly I just junk this thing instead of having it sitting near the garage. But the rear end's a lot easier to move around than the subframe by yourself. Right? It's really hard to move this thing by yourself. The rear end's a little bit tricky, but not too bad. This thing's a pain in the butt. The tie rods are all busted on it, so if the wheels don't steer the same way, and it's a mess. Anyway, so we're gonna roll this thing over here and get to work on it. Since it's on the rotisserie, I can just pull it this way, and I have this nice bay to work on here. But anyway, let me do that, get the car moved, and then show you what we're going to work on today. I'll show you the procedure I have to go through every time I work on the car here. Alright, a little reminder of where we left off last time. So we had the car tilted up like this, driver's side down. So I got most of what I could get like this. Wow, is that stuff rusting just from that little time? It looked like that stuff is surface rusting. It's only been a week or whatever, a couple of weeks. Not sure. Let's look at that again. That'd be really surprising. It has been raining here recently, which is really odd. But that would be really strange that that surface rusted that fast. I don't see anything else anywhere else. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is impressive. I just sanded this stuff down and it's rusting already. That's pretty impressive for California in the summertime. Holy cow. Okay, well, anyway, I was going to go over all of that with a DA and scuff pads and stuff before I painted it anyway, so I was going to have to come back and hit everything again. So that's why I didn't really try to finish this stuff off. I started doing a DA, you can see here. And then I said, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're going to have to do that all over again when you paint it. So we're not going to do anything with that. So anyway, the car is tilted up that way, and I got pretty much most of what I could get from that side. There's still stuff left, but that's it. So today, we're going to flip the car around the other way and do it from the other side, and also clean the inside of the trunk. All right, here's a look at the trunk. So reminder, we've got to put a patch panel in here, so I need to strip all of this. Of course, it needs to be stripped anyway. So I got to get the seam sealer out of there in the places where there's seam sealer, and then just start stripping. here's a spot that I was hitting with the that guy there. Yeah, it's doing all right. And down here is where I was using that guy. And this guy, you just come across here and woo, takes that stuff right off. See if I can get the camera in there tight so you can see how that works. Well, hopefully you could see that. That's pretty good. I think takes that stuff off pretty fast. And it doesn't gouge up the metal to oblivion either. That's pretty good. Makes pretty short work of things, so I'm gonna keep at it here. Let me show you another good tool I have here. This is the Bodyman's bristle disc, Scotch-Brite Grade 36. Let me show you this thing. So this is the Bodyman's bristle disc. It's made of a somewhat flexible material, but it's pretty darn stiff. And it really does make short work of things. I'll do a little bit here and you can see how quickly I go through this stuff. As you can see, it cuts pretty fast, but it doesn't grind as aggressively as using like just a 36 grit or something like that, sandpaper on a roll-lock. It's not quite that aggressive. It doesn't scratch the metal quite as bad. But anyway, I'm still working on the trunk here. I haven't even flipped the car over and started working on the bottom. There's so much to do on the bottom here. This is probably as far as I'm going to get today, is working on the trunk. I did find there's a rust in this corner here that I didn't know was there. I think it's probably okay. I don't know, we'll see. There is a lot of pitting and stuff in this floor that I didn't expect to be there because it looked solid, it had the coating on it like that, but there was rust underneath it. I don't know if somebody recoated the trunk in here at one point or something. Not sure. Anyway, keep working. Alright, so I'm going through and trying to clean out all the seam sealer and stuff in here. Just taking basically a screwdriver and jamming it down inside there and scraping it all out. Most of this stuff here is the hard seam sealer. Up in the corner there is some of the real black gooey stuff. Whenever I run into that stuff, I clean it out as best I can, and then I get a paper towel with acetone on it and try and wipe it down to get all the gunk off. Luckily there's not that much of that back here. It was just in that corner. Let me get that out of there. Alright, let's show you where we got to today. So this is pretty well done in here up to there. I need to flip the car down the other side to get that last bit there. There's still little spots up inside here, etc., that are not easy to get to with any kind of power tool, so I'm just going to sandblast those down on the what is that thing called? Drop-off panel? Anyway, that thing. I didn't clean that. This quarter panel is coming off here, so I'm going to actually do that pretty soon so I can get access to all that stuff while I'm there. And like I said, I still have to do that spot up there, so a little bit left to go. Everything looks really good in here, except for a few spots here and there and here, which are no big deal. And then this is pretty funky right there. I may patch that. I don't know. I may just leave it. Hit it with phosphoric acid and be done with it. I got to sandblast this stuff down here to see what kind of shape this is in, if this needs any help. I think it's okay, but there's some pretty big pieces of scale and stuff in here, so it is a little worrying. I did get all that seam sealer out of there, cleaned that up good with acetone. Got this done. I'm not going to strip up under here. As you can see, the paint is perfect all up and through here, so I'm just going to scuff that and shoot it with, I don't even know what yet, something. What do you guys do up here? That's a good question. You guys paint this under here? Just leave it? Primer? Body color? The inside of this, I'm probably going to do the spatter paint like this. I kind of like that look in the trunk. That does not go up here, as you can see. So, I don't know. It's an interesting question. Anyway, maybe that should be satin black, like I do everything else on the car, if that's what I go with. Anyhow, that was about 4 hours worth of work, I think, a little more, to get that done. And I'm just tired, so I'm not going to try and go any further here today. I think I've done enough. So this is going to go on the back burner for a little while because I got to get that flex bumper done, and then I'm on vacation, so it'll be a couple of weeks before I get around to this again. Hopefully this doesn't rust like I was seeing on the bottom. You know, it's California in the summer, it's supposed to be dry, it's not supposed to have these problems. But anyway, hope you guys are all having a good weekend, everything's going well. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about this. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. One last thing. This is all the seam sealer that came out of that one little corner here. So just that little strip right there had all of this seam sealer in there. Look at that chunk. That's huge. Big old globs of seam sealer. Nasty stuff. And I finally took down the air freshener that was in the car when I got it. Hopefully the car is not going to smell now that I took that out, but anyway. See ya!